Good morning, friends. It is Friday. Tadpole and I are coming to you from the couch because yesterday was pajama day at Miss Schultz's house. And if it's pajama day at Miss Schultz's house, that means I have to be productive. And what I decided to do was start rearranging all of the furniture in my house. So my office is very squished and very messy right now at the dining room table. So we can't sit over there. So we are on the couch today. You got kind of a different view of my house. I'll show you what my office looks like right now. That's how messy it is, and it's all squished together, and there's no room for me and the computer and Tadpole, who is now sitting in the window on the other couch. So today is Friday, and I woke up this morning, and the sun was shining, and it was a beautiful day outside. It's almost warm enough to be using my outside office, but I didn't have a sweatshirt on today. I only have kind of half sleeves, so I did not go out and use my outside office for our video this morning. It is May 1st, 2020, which means we have now made it to a new month, and hopefully we are all still staying healthy and safe and staying inside. I know it's supposed to be a little bit warmer this weekend, but they are recommending we still stay away from people, so make sure that you are not close to other people. Our word of the day today is reduce. And when you reduce something, it's a verb because it's something that you do. You make it smaller in size or amount. So usually when Miss Schultz makes herself dinner or a recipe, I have to reduce it because it's only me and I need to make less of the food. Otherwise, I will eat it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. If I make a big recipe or I have to find people to share with. So if I make meatloaf, that's a recipe that's kind of hard to reduce, but I reduce it by sharing it with Miss Quirk because it's one of her favorite foods. So reduce means to make smaller. A lot of times we talk about reduce with garbage and to reduce the amount of garbage we are putting in the landfill by recycling instead. So it is a verb, so think today about how you can reduce something. It could be as simple as reducing the amount of time you are playing on a tablet instead of playing outside or with your family when we are stuck here with our families at home. So we are at Zoe and Sassafras, Caterflies and Ice. Yesterday she tried to melt the ice to save the caterfly eggs, and she put some hot water and some salt on there, and we will see what happens because she was going to come back with her mom the next day. I need to turn my computer just a smidge so you can see a little bit better. I'll hold the pictures close too so you can see. Chapter 7, Just in Time. I burst through the door, set my sassafras backpack down gently, and put my hands on my knees, panting. My dad rounded the corner 3 seconds later. Ah, good, you're home. Thank you for being responsible. I was starting to worry. I shouldn't have sent you out so late in the afternoon. Thanks, Dad. I huffed out. I'm glad I got to go. Sassafras's ears perked up, and his head spun toward the front door a moment before I heard it open. Mom! Brr, it's getting cold out there, Mom said as she carried 2 grocery bags and a small plastic bag into the kitchen. She paused when she saw me. What have you been up to? I needed to do something. I winked a few times for good measure. Out in the forest? Something in the forest. Oh, my mom said as she finally realized what I was hinting at. I can help Mom put these away, Dad, I chirped. Okay, I'll leave you to it, Dad said as he left the kitchen. Oh, Mom, I whispered, have you ever seen caterflies? They are so cute. Their eggs are trapped behind ice, but I rescued them. At least I'm pretty sure I did. I had to rush home, but can we go check and make sure they're okay tomorrow? First thing, right after I wake up? Mom laughed. They sound adorable. I can't wait to meet them. Great work helping them. And yes, let's go first thing in the morning. I also got you this. And she slid a bag over to me. I opened it and squealed. 50% for snowshoes! Yes! Thank you. Go grab your sketches and we can get ready for our sassafras. We can get these ready for sassafras before tomorrow's morning's adventure, Mom said, as she put away the last of the groceries. I hurried off to grab my plans for the coolest cat shoes ever. If we worked quickly, Sassafras could wear them to visit the Caterflies tomorrow. Chapter 8. Not more! I woke up early and shivered. I pulled a warm sassafras on my chest, and he purred. Then I remembered the caterflies and leapt out of bed. Sassafras jumped sideways and landed with his tail poofed up. Sorry, Sass, I ruffled his fur. The caterflies, we need to check on them. Meow, exclaimed Sassafras as he ran for the kitchen. Mom was sitting at the table with a sad look on her face. She shook her head. I gulped. What's wrong, Mom? Mom slowly turned to the window. Wild gusts of winds were flinging giant flakes of snow this way and that. I could barely make out the forest through the blinding whiteness of the falling snow. My heart sank. We couldn't go out into the woods in this weather because it would be too dangerous, because the snow and wind can work together to make tree branches snap. I'm sure they'll be fine, Zoe, Mom said. This is just a bit more of the spring snowstorm that needs to work its way through. The forecast says it should be over by tomorrow, but today we need to sit tight and wait it out. I walked to the kitchen counter and peered out the window. The snow was really coming down. I could barely see the forest through all the snowflakes. I know what will cheer you up, Mom plopped 4 little shoes on the counter in front of me. Put the finishing touches on these after you fell asleep. Are you ready to test them out on our brave kitty? I still felt sad about the Caterflies, but I couldn't help smiling at the tiny sassafras snowshoes. I sat down on the ground and Sassafras came over and sniffed at them suspiciously. These will be great, Sass. You'll just wait and see. I plunked him in my lap and slipped one shoe on each paw and attached each one. They were looking out the window. Looks really bad. With Velcro so they wouldn't fall off. Time to see if they worked. Sassafras took a step and stopped. He wrinkled his nose. Then he took another step. He lifted his paw and sniffed at the shoe. Then he started prancing. That was one of our word of the days. He held his head high and fluffed up his tail and took fancy steps around the kitchen. Mom and I bent over laughing. Dad peeked his head in and took one look at Sassafras and laughed so hard a tear rolled down his cheek. After our laughter died down, Dad looked out the window and let out a big breath. His shoulders slumped. I guess it's time to start shoveling the walkway and the driveway. A huge grin spread across my face. I knew just how to make this easier for my dad. But Dad, just use some salt. Salt will melt the snow and ice. Then you don't have to work so hard shoveling. Mom patted my head. That's a great idea, Zoe. And while salt would change the freezing point of water and melt the ice, it's best if Dad does it the good old-fashioned way. Salt can damage plants, and it's not great for the environment. Maybe we can make him some hot cocoa for when he's done. Then she looked at my face. Oh, honey, what's wrong? I cleared my throat. I didn't want to ask, but I needed to know. The salt? You said it can damage plants? And that is the end of that chapter. So it is true that salt can damage plants. One time I was having a really hard time killing some weeds in my backyard, and we actually took salt and put it on all of the cracks in between the little bricks to help kill the weeds, and it really did work. So because today is Friday, that means it is Fun Friday. And I think today should be, I was trying to think of what to do and what to do and what to do. And I have been spending a lot of time doing jigsaw puzzles in my spare time here. I usually do them on my iPad, which isn't very good for my eyeballs. But I don't have a space big enough to put out a big puzzle to work on. So I was thinking that today could be a puzzle Fun Friday. And a puzzle Fun Friday could be a word puzzle, it could be a number puzzle, it could be a jigsaw puzzle. If you have any of those things at home, go ahead and do one of those by yourself or with someone in your family, or work together all the whole family. And if you don't have something, remember that there was the time in class where we made our own puzzles and we cut up the piece of paper after we had drawn the picture. And you can do that with any paper you have at your house. You can draw a picture. So I could take my notepad here and I could draw a picture on it, or I could just cut it up because it already has a picture on it. And I could make a puzzle and I could give it to somebody, or I could solve my own puzzle. I can use a big piece of computer paper puzzle to make a puzzle. And I will also send some links for your parents so that they can print. There's Tadpole coming back to the couch. So they can print possibly either a blank puzzle for you to fill in where you can cut out on the lines, or I will send some word search puzzles or even some number puzzles if you want to give those a try today. Something fun to keep your brain active. It's really good to keep your brain active to do puzzles and use that logic side of your brain that we don't use so very often when we are stuck at home. So I hope you have fun. I hope you have a good weekend. I will see you again on Monday. We'll continue with Zoe and Sassafras and see what happens with the salt in her book. Love and hugs to everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, all that good stuff.